Good morning, everyone. Nope, good afternoon, everyone. I'm still in that old habit. It is Tuesday at noon. It is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and happy Tuesday. If you're on, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here with me. I just have to go grab something. While I do that, I'll let you look at these pretty cards. Tomorrow is the last day to register for the Beautiful Butterflies class. This is my monthly class to go. And you're going to get enough supplies to make two of each of the butterfly full-size cards. And the bonus is the note card. This time you'll get a kit to make the note card. You're going to get a full pack of the Bokeh Designer Series paper. And then the Sparkle Gems and more sparkle with a brand new Wink of Stella. And we can never have too much Wink of Stella. So again, tomorrow's the last day to register for that. It is $35 for, you get all of that, the PDF plus the video we did, I think just last week, maybe, on here on YouTube to show you how to put the cards together when you get them. It would be great if you already have the Beautiful Butterflies bundle, because as you can see, we used it pretty heavily in these projects. If you don't, you've got a couple of options. Use something you already have. Don't make them butterfly cards. Make them something that works for you. Or I also want to remind you that we're saying goodbye to Saleabration on Friday. And when you place a $60 order on Saleabration, you can actually get the stamp set, which is this is what I used on these two cards, for free as your Saleabration choice for your level 1 purchases. And then you just have to purchase the dies if you want to bake them exactly as I did. So that could be part of your $60. I think they're like 42, maybe 42.50. So you're pretty close to 60 with that. You just add a few things. Stock up on your essentials, guys, and get something extra, right? That's what I did. Third option is I do have it in my shop or in my registration. After tax and shipping, I deducted 10%. So it's saving you 10% on addition to the 10% that's already saved with the bundle. So three options if you want to get the Beautiful Butterflies. The registration link should be below. I'll double check that after the live. And if it's not, I'll make sure to get it in there for you. Okay. So that's Creativity Delivered this month, and registration, as I said, ends tomorrow. Ending on Friday is your opportunity to get this month's Just Card kits. These kits are designed so that you just need to add greetings. All the embossing, all the die cutting, everything is done for you. You get the kit for free with a minimum $45 product purchase on my website using this month's host code. So you want to make sure you get that done before Friday, because if it's after Friday, I can't go back and, or if it's late on Friday day, I can't get it added back in. So we have to get you in there with that order. So again, your $60 celebration order not only is going to get you the free celebration goodie, you're also going to earn the Just Cards kit. So keep all that in mind. Again, this will end on Friday, and then there'll be a new set of Just Cards for next month. Okay, and then last week, I think we did do the Beautiful Butterfly. So I don't have any cards to give away because that's a paid class and I don't do that, to be fair to everyone. But I'm giving away an essential today, if you will. I'm giving away a pack of dimensionals because we all burn through our dimensionals, right? So the winner of this is Sharon Rowland. So Sharon, I will get these popped in the mail to you. I am leaving right after this live, so I probably won't get them out until Friday, maybe Thursday afternoon, but more likely Friday. Okay, congratulations. Thanks so much for watching and commenting and sharing and subscribing. And yay, we're actually over 1,500 subscribers now. So thank you all for those of you that have subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that very much. And keep commenting and sharing and giving me a thumbs up, right? All right, so hey, Debbie. Hello, Deborah. Melinda's here, yay. Message, oh, and sunny and warm West Virginia. Thank you for sharing, Melinda. I appreciate that. I know, we're going to be in the 50s. I'm excited. Tomorrow, I think we're supposed to be 59. So that is awesome. I can't wait for that. I'm ready. I know we're going to go back to the cold. It's inevitable, but at least we'll have a little bit of a break, right? And we're actually going out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow night. Tomorrow I'm in Gettysburg. I'm at the retreat house tomorrow. So Thursday night we have plans with friends to go see. My husband works for the school district in our area, and they do amazing musicals in the spring. So we're going to see Wizard of Oz at the high school. So that'll be fun. All right. So we are going to say goodbye to Saleabration today because this will be my last day working with those products. And I'm going to move on to some other great stuff that I'll be sharing with you in the coming weeks. But probably my number one. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Indiana 63 right now. Wowzers. Yeah, I would take the 63 for sure. That's like sweater weather, right? You don't even need a jacket in that weather. That's awesome. Well, welcome and thanks for joining us. So this one had to be my favorite. And even though I fussy cut every single seagull that I stamped, ooh, that ring light is not doing that any favors, is it? It is still my favorite. Now, a couple of these cards that I'm going to share with you, we did in my club this month. I do a monthly club, and that will be changing. It will become a monthly class in the future. So stay tuned for more details about that. If you're liking these club cards that I've been sharing with you, there'll be an opportunity to be able to get those even if you're long distance. And we are going to do this little guy. He's so cute. And yes, I did fussy cut him. And yes, I managed to do it without chopping off his legs. Don't ask me how. I have no idea. I managed to do it several times though. All right, so we're going to do him. Obviously, he's an easel card. And then and then on the inside, it says, I love you more than French fries. Because French fries is one of my weaknesses, guys. It's been a long time since I've had any, but they were one of my weaknesses back in the day. All right. Grab the kit. And start stamping. So I imagine everyone's made an easel card, but just in case you haven't, let me give you a little detail here. Ideally, and I think in every case, except maybe a corner easel, I usually do my easel cards 4 1/4 by 11, scored at the standard 5 1/2, and then I score it at 2 3/4 because that's the section that we're going to bend to stand our card up. You can make it smaller if you prefer, but since you're really not going to see much of any of this, I don't think it really matters. You just need it to be high enough that you can stamp and fold, and it'll sit up at a decent angle, right? Okay. This is the layer that's going to go on the front. We're just going to randomly scatter some imagery around it. The outside edges. I think I used almost every stamp set out of the Friendly Seagulls stamp set. And I'm not going to do these all straight on. I'm going to twist and turn. But again, you're not going to see much of this because we have the balmy blue layer. So I'm really just trying to make sure I've got some imagery around the outside edge. And I'm doing tone on tone as well. So it's not hugely jumping out at us. But I didn't want a naked edge. Just like we don't like to have naked envelopes, I didn't want a naked edge going around the card. So I've got sand and seashells, which is probably really hard to see on the camera, but I just did the whole way around the edge. I've got a gap here, so we're going to fix that. There we go. Okay. This piece will eventually get mounted to our card front. The only trick to remember when making an easel card is you do not want to put adhesive all over the back of this, or you have now basically immobilized your score line, right? Because this is going to be attached. So what I do to make sure I avoid that is I put my adhesive under my score line. Okay, we'll do that in a little bit. Then we're going to grab our small piece of white. And I think I showed this. I don't know if I showed this on YouTube or if I showed this on my Facebook page recently, but we don't have a scallop edge, although I think we're getting one in the upcoming online exclusives. So I took an old piece of basic white that had markings all over it, cut some circles, kind of put them on there a little wonky, and I'm going to lay this on my cardstock. This is how we made clouds back in the day, right? In the olden days, I've been stamping with Stampin'. I've been a demonstrator a little over 21 years. I've been stamping with Stampin' Up! Probably for 25 years. And my mama introduced me to that. So I've got a blending brush and balmy blue ink. I've got that template, if you will. And you can make whatever size punch outs as far as circles go. It does not have to be a particular size. You can go smaller, maybe a little bit bigger. And again, probably on camera, or at least to my eyes, it doesn't really look like I'm doing much. But when we're done, we're going to see those cloud effects. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can do them darker if you want more of a stormy effect. And sometimes we go lighter. And I just want a light effect today. So we're just going real light. I think that's probably good. And then the last thing I do to kind of soften those points is I'm just going to come up with some balmy blue. Just to soften them out a little bit. Okay. Break our sky up from our clouds to our sand and sea. So this embossing folder, which I thought I kept and I didn't, Soft Waves. I just embossed it and then I cut on one of the waves that went a little bit higher. So I'll have that going there. Who got friendly seagulls from Saleabration? Anybody? It really is the cutest set. I wish they had done it as a level 2 and given us dies for the seagull. But after the third or fourth one, it really wasn't that hard. It really wasn't that hard. Okay, so I'm going to come back in with the crumb cake again. I'm going to do my sand. I'm going to go ahead and tear it. And I always tear it towards me so that I get a rough edge, right? That just gives us a little bit more texture. I want to see, I'm going to tear that even more, I think. Because I think I didn't put my waves down as far as I did this time. So there we go. That'll be good. That will be good. And then again, we're just going to randomly stamp seashells. All over. And then come back in with the sand in little spots to do a little fill. Always stamp off the edge of your cardstock so that it doesn't look like you just stamped a whole bunch of stuff in the center. This gives it a more finished, almost designer paper effect on the cardstock. Mount that down here at the bottom. And then, yes, I did already fussy cut because I have to hold it, right up to my eyes to be able to see it. And I used light Cajun Craze and then Smoky Slate, light and dark. And I think that was light gray granite in the center. Speaking of giving away dimensionals today, I am going to grab dimensionals so that we can pop our little seagull up. But I will say that since getting those other scissors, and I'll show them to you. These are Fiskars, fine tip, really sharp, pointy tips. And they're spring loaded, so I don't have to open the blade, right? On regular scissors, you have to open it every time. This will automatically open. As soon as I squeeze it shut, it's ready to come back out. So it does make it, for me anyway, a little bit easier. If you're somebody that doesn't like the fussy cut, maybe give something like that a try. All right, so we're gonna pop our little seagull down here. We've also got some birds that we're gonna stamp in the sky. And I usually stamp them upside down. So let's try not to do that today. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. There we go. I used basic gray for that. Okay. And then I'm going to just go ahead and get him mounted onto the balmy blue. You can now mount him to the center of that crumb cake layer that we stamped the edges. And sometimes it's all about those little details, right? And now we'll mount it to our card front. And again, to prevent me from creating a card that I can't turn into the easel that I'm planning, I just put my adhesive right down under the score line. As long as you keep it there. Well, now I am covered in crumb cake cardstock because, of course, the seal decided to take the fibers from the paper. Okay. So we just line it up edge to edge and along the bottom edge. You can't get rid of it. So there's our card front. Let's go ahead and do our label. Pool party is going to be really, really light. Actually, I think I'm lying to you guys, actually. I think this is pool party. This is pool party. I was working with Balmy Blue yesterday. Sorry. Yes, pool party is what I used, both for the wave, the background, and the ink. So if you have pool party, you're good. Balmy Blue is going to be a little deeper, a little brighter, if you will. But if you want something a little softer, then you want to go with pool party. Whoa. Hey, friend. We're going to go ahead and stamp that in Memento. And I have to pull that closer and off the white because I cannot see white on white. It's going to be very interesting after I have my surgery what I get back or don't, as the case may be. Okay, so Memento. And then I'm just going to take my blending brush. I'm not going to really dip it because there's enough ink left in there. But I don't want that white glaring against our sky. So we're just adding some pool party to our label. And we're going to pop that up on a dimensional as well, or two. Pop that right here. I'm not going to, whoops. Really, there's dimensionals on there, I promise. There we go. There we go. So there's our card front. Let's work on our inside. And I love you more than, I'm looking for my French fry, not my box. There it is. Okay. So, Memento. Um, well, it was supposed to be March 7th and it's been delayed. Um, Now they're saying more like May or June, which part of me is okay with that. And the other part is like, really? It just gives me longer for my anxiety to build up. I love you more than French fries. And then we're going to put the cute little French fries on here. And we'll give them a little color. So for the French fries, I use Dark Daffodil Delight. And for the French fry box, I used Dark Real Red because other than fresh cut fries, which are my absolute favorite, McDonald's, as far as I'm concerned, has the best French fries. Who's your favorite fast food French fry? And while I didn't color in on the first one, because at that point I just saw a circle on there, I couldn't really see that it was supposed to be a hamburger. So we're going to do a little crumb cake for the bun. That was light crumb cake. Nope, I'm sorry, that was dark crumb cake. And I don't know what color. I might just make it green because it looks like there's lettuce hanging out over the edge. What do you think? Should we make it green? Let's see what this looks like. Truthfully, there's so little space there. It just looks like we colored something on the inside of the bun, at least for me. All right. And, excuse me. And then we're going to make Burger King fries. They're not too bad. I do like those. I prefer their onion rings. If I go to Burger King, I get the onion rings. Although now they have the halvesies, which is kind of cool, right? So you can get um, half onion rings and half French fries. And I like that. I like that. I tell you the one I don't like. I don't like the curly fries at Arby's. I'm not a curly fry girl. Are you guys curly fry girls or guys? Happy birthday. This is from Simply Said. This is my favorite happy birthday that we currently offer. I love when it comes off the block, off the stamp, and it flips upside down. Almost every time. Hey, Corinne. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with that, but and I have a lot. I mean, I March 7th would have been perfect because it would have been before everything that I have going on this month. I'm supposed to be going to convention, so I guess that I think is going to be able to happen. I have one more thing I'm waiting to hear back on, and then I should be cleared to go to convention, which will be fun. I haven't been in a couple of years. My girlfriend and I are rooming together, so that'll be cool. But I would have preferred to have the surgery and have to miss everything because, yeah, just the anxiety is building. I told them when I was talking with them, I said, you know, my shoulders are up around my ears by now because I'm already uptight. Yes, cooked right and fresh, not after they've sat. No curly fries. All right. Hey, Deborah, you and I can go fast food hopping together. Okay. So we are going to pop this right about here. And then I'm going to put this on the inside of my card. And we will have this one complete. I'm going to put birds up there because apparently I had black ink on my hand to mask the smudge. Find ways to correct them rather than recreating, right? Perfect. Perfect. All right. Never a dull moment. And there we go. That's how it sits up. How cute is he? Again, I really do think, I mean, I liked a lot of the sets, and I'm going to show you two more that I really liked. But if I were forced to design with one only, it would have been the Seagulls, I think. Oops. All right. Let me just quickly get the ink off of these. Since they're photopolymer, I try to do that so it doesn't stain. Although I don't think staining ever hurts your stamps. But you definitely want to make sure you're getting them clean. And you want to make sure that if you're using a chamois or a scrub pad, that that's clean as well, or you'll just transfer ink around, right? All right, so there is project number 1 using friendly seagulls. I'm sad to see him go, but he'll go live at the nest now. Seagull nest. I didn't plan that, guys. All right, moving on to project number 2. And my apologies in advance because I intended to do a little pre-work on this and it didn't happen. This was another club project this month, and I took the Cheerful Daisies and the Corner in Bloom to create my card. And then I just did a little space so you can write a note, personalized note on the inside. Lemon Lolly and Melon Mambo are my colors of choice. This is my smaller piece, so that's going to go on the inside. And so this is just a standard 5.5, and I believe it is cut at 6.25. So I have a 2-inch strip there that I'm going to go ahead, and I use the Starstruck embossing folder. Now that is also a favorite product, but I didn't include that in my top 3 because it's not a stamp. But I always grab embossing folders when they're available through Saleabration because you can use them over and over and over again, right? Okay, so there we go. There is our top layer. Careful with the seal because it is already embossed and the fibers will tear very easily when you're applying your seal. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this part so that I can, this part, so that I can just get it mounted inside and make sure I don't drop something on it. Because, you know, that would be my luck, right? So some more memento. And we're going to put that right here in the corner. And probably I should just go ahead while I have that stamp and stamp my daisies for the card front. See? Okay. Okay, well, I just wanted to prove to you that you do drop your stamps onto your cardstock. There's one. There's two. Okay. We are going to use the Melon Mambo to fill two of those. Now here's where this gets fun for me. And I'm going to apologize to you in advance if I have to pull this closer to me, because right now I truly cannot see it at all to line it up. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. That's not horrible. I've done better, but that we'll take that. Because normally my nose is right down on top of the paper. That's the gimmick here. And I can't do that today. There we go. Nope. Nope. All right, here we go. Oh, that one's really bad. All right, this one I might have to do. Pull it off camera. I did it again. And I have the yellow to do yet, so heaven help us all, right? I don't know, guys. I'm coming off here for a second because I really can't see it. And I apologize. And if you, yeah, I really can't. Let's see it. I can't see it at all today. So we're just going to pretend we did that, okay? And I'll fix that later. I apologize, but yeah, it's just not lining up for me today. And that's one of the things I hope comes back because that's tough. Okay, let me go ahead and clean this off so that we can do the yellow. Hopefully. Hopefully we can do the yellow. And I'm going to stamp that on a piece of scrap to make sure. Yeah, that looks good. Sometimes if you don't get all the pink off, you end up with an orange daisy, which I guess isn't horrible. Now this one might go a little better just because it's lighter for me to see through. No, I don't think it did. It's not too bad. We'll take it. Worst case scenario, you can color it in with your blends, right? Or your watercolor pencils, which is what we're going to color the rest with. So this is the Cheerful Daisies bundle. Now, I don't know if it's still being sold as a bundle, but it was when it was originally introduced. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. And I'm going to bring in my mini to do that. And a little bit of my Post-it note tape that helps hold everything in place, right? And I love my mini. I always tell my customers, if they don't have any die cutting machine, you want to go ahead and make the investment into the big guy. because you'll be able to do everything. You'll be able to use any of our dies, any of our embossing folders, etc. But if you already have the big die and you want something that's just easy to keep on your desk when you're stamping, or you go to retreats, right? Like I take my mini to retreats, because more and more of our supplies, our dies and our embossing folders are fitting through the mini. So that's kind of cool. And it's real easy just to pick it up and go with it, right? Now, I will tell you that, and I should have shown you that, put that away. I will tell you that when I first got this guy, everyone is calibrated independently, so there's not necessarily the same. I had to stagger my plates. So I had to put it through so that they weren't all three stacked up. It wouldn't pull it. So I just staggered my plates like that. The more I use it, the more it loosens up, the more I can do pretty much straight on, and I don't have any problems with everything lined up. But if you say, I can't get my plates to go through, give that a try. That might help you out. Okay, so now let's grab our corners in blue, or corners in blue. Did I say that right? Corner in blue. Stamp. And we're going to ink this up with Memento. Set those guys up there for the moment. And we're going to do one in the bottom corner. And then we're going to flip it, re-ink, and do one in the top corner. And I'm going to actually turn it so I can line up with the bottom edge. And this would be cute just like this. You wouldn't have to add the extra embellishment of the daisy die cuts, but I thought they looked cute, and it was a great way to marry our celebration with our core product line, right? So I'm using watercolor pencils. I am not going to color this whole thing. That would drive you crazy. But I'm just going to do, I did not use any kind of an aqua painter or a blender brush. I just did straight on pencil. I used, of course, you can tell I'm using basic white here. I'm going to do in the corner so I can mount those flowers, and then I'll go back and color the rest of it. Because I have one more project for you. I didn't need to do this corner, did I? Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's that. We did daffodil. We used granny apple green for the leaves. And if you like the sketch effect, go real light with your pencil. If you want it to look more filled in and solid, then you just add a little additional pressure. But you can get two different effects even without using any of the water, whether it be the blending brush or the blender pens or the aqua. We don't call them aqua painters anymore. What do we call them? Water brushes? I believe it's water brushes. I think I did that flower, but I didn't do this flower. All right, so pretend the rest of this is all colored in as you saw on the sample, but we're not going to waste your time. Just so I don't have to try to color under a flower, right? Okay. So then we'll stamp our thank you in the center of that. Thank you comes from With You in Mind. I believe this is a relatively new stamp set, has nice big greetings, and then some imagery that you can use as accents. Add the memento again. Put that right in the center. Okay. Going to mount this to the card front. And I'm not going real low. Again, we would seal the card shut if we went too low. I'm going to go right about there. I'm going to pop the daisies on with the dimensionals. Why I keep putting the dimensionals away is beyond me, but I do. Oh, and I'm going to be brave. I did not put the center in the flower. I'm going to try to do it on the card. So I'm using early espresso to add the centers. Yeah, this card is shot. This card is shot. But you get the idea. And it really was a cute card. And apparently my eyes are shot today too. So there we go. Won't be doing a lot of designing today, that's for sure. And then here's your trick, right? So I'm going to line this up with the back of the basic beige on the card front because it's the exact same size. I don't necessarily want it to show around, so I want to make sure I get it perfectly aligned. And by putting the adhesive on the back and then laying it onto the basic beige and closing the back of the card base down on it, it does not show from the front. So it's kind of like a little surprise when you open it up and have that on the inside to write your thank you note. Okay. So here's the one that looks well with all the colors on the flowers and then our piece on the inside. All right. Sorry about that one, guys. That one, didn't expect that one to be quite that tough this morning for me. Or I would have done something different. Okay, last one. So number 3 features the heartfelt bundle. No, heart shape. I keep calling it heartfelt. I think I even put that in the description. And I know a lot of people use this for Valentine's. I did too. This one is a level 2, as was the corner blooms, right? That one's a level 2. But this one has the dies as well as the stamp set. So we're going to do something non-Valentine-y that looks a little bit like this. I love pecan pie. Yeah, pecan pie and peach pie together. Both as colors and to have a snack, right? We did French fries. Now we're doing pie. I must have been hungry when I was designing. I'm not sure. And this is Impressions in Bloom, which is, or Bloom Impressions. I think I'm totally mixed up today. Which is, of course, a level 1 celebration option. And remember, you can get these with $60. The stamp and die is $120 product order before tax and shipping. The paper is a $60. And it is pretty fabulous paper, I have to say. I used quite a bit of it. Now, this is not Impressions in Bloom. This is the paper that goes with the Delightful Wishes suite of products. Okay. All right. So I did a little die cutting ahead of time. So I have my heart, so pretty, done. I have my Spotlight in Nature circle done. So we're going to grab the heart stamp. Oops. And the block. And we're going to stamp that in our circle. So pretty. That stamp is really very pretty. And then I'm going to grab another block. Maybe. And we're going to stamp those three little flowers. And the thing I like about those three little flowers is that they're attached. And even when we die cut them, they're going to be attached. So I'm going to do those down here. And I used Just Because I Care as my greeting. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on the same piece of scrap. With that same color ink. So Peach Pie is our ink color. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my label die and my floral die. And we'll bring the mini back in. My plates are well loved. I often wonder how exactly I watch other demonstrators and they bring their die cutting machine on and it's perfectly clear plates. And I don't understand because after the first cut, there's a mark in your plates, right? After you run it through the first time, but theirs are always perfectly clear. And I'm like, I don't know if they buy a new set of plates every time they do a live or what the story is, but mine are not so perfectly clear as you can tell. Mine are used and loved. I'm okay with that. When they start making marks on my paper, then they gotta go. Now, you're wondering, why did she do that? I'm going to show you why in just a second. I stamped it far to the right. And I'm going to lay that over there so I don't lose it. Little Post-it note tape. I don't know how I survived. I used to use washi tape, but sometimes that would tear the cardstock, right? My plates have never warped. Not these anyway. And I think it's because it's just a different, not as heavy duty, right? It cuts everything just fine, but these have never warped. Truthfully, rotating is good. You start, and if I start with one on the bottom, one on the top, and usually I'll mark it top if I'm really concerned. And then when this one starts to warp, I'll swap them. And the other thing I do is I store my plates in the machine. Okay, just like that. So even on my large die cutting and embossing machine, I store my plates inside of it. So it helps to keep them flatter. Um, I've heard about people wrapping them in tinfoil, putting them in your oven with a brick on top of them, things like that. I've never done that. One of the reasons I've never done that is these plates are acrylic. And I don't want to put them in an oven that I cook food in for consumption because I don't know if it could release any form of chemicals into the air, and I don't want to risk that. But for me, those two things keep me fairly straight. I use them a long time. Even when they're a little warped, I continue to use them. And once they're done, and I just buy new ones. So I don't know if you've tried those two ideas, but that's what I do. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mount all our goodies now. I don't want that. Blending brush is not gonna apply adhesive. But my fine tip glue with my Tombow in will. So here's what I have learned recently. Not all fine tip bottles like this are created equal. Um, this one seems to have a wider nozzle, if you will. So when I first started using it, I was applying the same amount of pressure. No, I was getting whole globs of glue out. So if you are getting fine tip glue bottles, and for whatever reason you're using more than one, make sure you either have the same exact type of glue bottle, or practice on your paper before you mount it right to your cardstock, because that was quite a surprise for me. I figured all fine tips were created equal. I would be incorrect. All right, so there is our heart. And I pre-cut out of Mossy Meadow some of the little greens. So I'm going to put these on here, like so. And some at the bottom. And I could have actually skipped this, but I thought it just added a little more realism to your wreath. Ooh, I have no idea what that noise was. And then these, I can add some adhesive, regular adhesive too. We're going to hide those stems just like that. We'll cover this up before then I have to figure out how to unclog the nozzle. And here's my trick. Do you see? It looks like I have a really long greeting. I don't. I just cut it. I just cut it. So I'm going to cut it right about there. And then I'm going to put this piece down. And I'm going to put this piece down on the opposite end. It likes my finger. And you want to try to make sure they look like they're going straight across. I think that does. And then we're just going to pop our part up with some dimensionals. They don't want to come off today. Just have to make sure that I've got enough of that sticking out on that side, and I'm tight up to my greeting on this side. And there we go. And then the last thing I did is I took the metallic gems. These are adhesive backed. And I actually put in some of these little guys. No idea where my take your pick tool is. Yep, these. into the center of our flowers. I thought it went with the earth tones of the wreath. I think I used the copper ones on this one. On both of them, I used the copper ones. So they just give a little bit of sparkle there. And then on the inside, I'm pretty sure I just left this one blank. Oh, no, I didn't. So we will. I am going to leave this one blank so that you have a chance to write your message in it, whatever you would like it to be. All right. So there we go. So these are some of my favorites that were in the celebration this year. This one is a level 2. This one is a level 2. I didn't realize that when I designed these. Hey, Donna. And our little easel guy with the seagull, friendly seagull, is a level 1. So hopefully you like them. My apologies for the difficulty with the 2-step stamping today. Some days are better than others, and today was not a good day. But I hope you like those. I hope you take advantage of this last couple of days of celebration to get your maybe second or third favorite. Maybe you've already gotten a couple. Again, it is a great time to stock up on essentials and get a little something extra. Remember, if your order is $60 to earn a free celebration reward, you're also going to earn my Just Cards kits when you use my host code for the month. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the warm weather if you're experiencing it in your area. I know it's going to be great here for a couple of days. And I will be back. The plan is I will be over on my Facebook page Sunday night at 8. I got a cool trick to show you with a piece of 12 by 12. So, oh, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Donna. All right. Have a great one, guys. Thanks again so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you Sunday night. Bye, guys.